Good evening. I'm Enarida Flor and welcome to Churikua. I remember when I started college. I'm from Nastola, so I need a place to stay. So the only chance I got was to stay in the apartment building that is the university's property in Kruununhaka neighborhood on Vironkatu Street. When I furnished there and started my classes, everything seemed to be calm and quiet until one night, while I was coming back from a bar with my friends, I got into the elevator and, for my surprise, I saw a soldier, more precisely a colonel from another time, such as from the beginning of last century, was lucid and headless. His head was under his arm, and the only thing I did was keep my horror inside of me and got off as fast as I possible to. Once I was out of there, I walked as fast as I could, and once I saw no one else was behind me, I ran to my apartment. Once there, I locked the door and dropped my purse on the floor. I went to my bed. I put blanket on my head and with the soft light of my cell phone, I remained in silence. I saw a few players, and when I saw it's been a long time and everything was okay, I fell asleep. The next morning, I did my academic routine as always, but my friend Army realized that I was under the weather, so she asked me about it and I told her I'd leave, so she said in response, I'm glad to hear that at least you're feeling bad because of being with us. I feel much better. After that little time, we went to my apartment. We had our meal and heard someone talking or arguing with someone else loudly in the apartment beside of mine. But we felt scared once I remembered it was empty and no one was living there. We were overcome with fear and we hid in the bathroom. We stayed there for a while. Due to this, I prepared a little improvised luggage and stayed the night at Army's. After this event, I had to go back, of course, staying mandatory earlier or later. Once I came in, what was my big surprise? Seeing the colonel in my room, looking at my papers related to my classes and to the course I would take in the next period. There was the colonel standing up with his head under his arm. I couldn't bear it and I screamed. Two of my neighbors from apartments close to mine came into the corridor. A man and a woman went to help. When they arrived, I couldn't resist it and I blacked out. When I got consciousness, I was in the corridors round with those neighbors and the building manager. I explained what I saw in the last few days, and then the manager said, So, you met Alexei? Is that his name? Well, that's how he's called around here. Little is known about him. He's surrounding the building and some nearby places. He likes riding the elevator. He's always with his head under his arm, and sometimes he tends to argue or talk loudly in empty rooms or apartments. And of course, he loves looking through his inhabitants' papers. Why is he still here? We are wondering the same. Maybe for the same reason as other ghosts in the city. Maybe it would be better to tell you about him once you arrive. After recovering, I called Army. She agreed to stay with me that night. I told her about Alexei and We started wondering about how his life ended like this. Supposedly, he is there since the early 20th century, and in order to have some fun, riding the elevator to and fro, talking or arguing probably alone in empty places, looking through papers. Issues that now I can see from another perspective as a nosy ghost, making me feel pity about him. There is no doubt that he continues in this world having more fun, dead, than when he was alive.